Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well as always. All right, so today is Friday the 13th. This is the day that a lot of the divine feminine like to celebrate in honor of the divine feminine. So I thought I'd pull some cards, see what's going on. Plus, it's Galentine's Day and, a time to kind of reflect and remember you know the essence of love, which is a part of who we are, and where we come from. So I thought, let's pull some cards, see what we get. So yeah, I'm gonna clear the air. All right, sorry if I'm a little out of it. I'm just having a little hard time this week, just like everybody else. I know a lot is going on in this world, and it's not easy to watch unfold, or feel into the collective as people's worlds get turned upside down. So first cards that literally just flipped out on their own: Six, the Lover's card, Two of Cups. You can't make this shit up, I swear. And Temperance. So this is definitely a time of restoration and restoring, divine partnership, and not just in a sense of like karmic or soulmate. This is like both of them together. It feels like the card itself is saying twin flame connection, but that is the type of deck that I have, is the twin flame journey, which is the journey that I am on. That is what is awakened me to living a fulfilled life and co-creating. It is interesting to me that, these two cards, the first two cards are kind of gray and old, black. And then you have the blue and the purple card with the flame in it. And right after it. So, this is a time where a lot of reevaluation, like I was saying with love, is happening. A lot of people don't like to celebrate Valentine's Day because they think, oh, Hallmark makes me buy all this stuff, and, or they get upset at reflecting in their own life and how much love maybe they don't have within their life. For me, I try to see things like if something upsets me or bothers me, but it's not something like Valentine's Day, like I can control to like say, let's get rid of it. Like I can either be salty about it, or I can find a way to see it as something useful and positive for me. So, for instance, I was single for 6.5 years. Um, you know, Instead of being poor me every Valentine's Day about not having somebody, to share that with, I ended up sending my loved ones, my friends, a lot of girlfriends, and people that are close to me, little gifts as a token of my love and appreciation to them. It was also just a time to reevaluate how, like, looking at the past year, how much love have I been giving to others in the past? Is there areas I could do better with? It's kind of a sense of like church. People like to go to church every Sunday as kind of like a renewal, like a reminder, every week to like, oh, reflect on the week prior and how can I go into this next week and be a better person. Well, it's kind of like that. We get Valentine's only once a year, but do we really remember throughout the whole year how to love each other correctly, and giving love in a way that it speaks from us, but also giving love to people in a way that they know how to receive, because our love languages aren't always the same. So especially if you're in a relationship, your partner's love language may be, acts of kindness, and the other one is gifts. And, your partner's always giving you gifts, but you don't like gifts, but that is how they show love. And so you kind of have to be open to receiving it, because it is essentially what they do to give you love. And then they also need to in turn realize, oh, this is how I give love, but this person doesn't receive it unless it's an act of kindness more. They see love as that. So I need to be more aware and self-cognate of, I need to give them some acts of service also, because that's how they feel loved. And then they give back, and it's a dance. So anyways, this is a time of reevaluation and restoration, restoring divine partnerships. Thank God, because I've been reflecting myself, and I've realized, like, I used to be so obsessed with love. Like, I used to live, breathe, be. I used to, like, that is what sparked me. Like, that is what literally gave me a spark every day. That is what gave me purpose. That is what, like, I used to write about all the time. That's what the purpose of my work, my journey, healing journey was about. It was intense divine love. It was all based around that. And it's kind of like I feel like I've forgotten a lot of that. And I don't even know how to tap into that anymore. Just because that association part of my twin flame journey is gone, but I don't know how to, like, transmute it into my new journey. So that's what I believe is happening right now, especially as we go into the new year, the fire horse, and with the solar eclipse, and a lot of people are celebrating Lent. Some people are celebrating, I believe, Ramadan. Like, there is so much happening, especially on the 17th, I believe, that is going to shake a lot of people up and bring this newness to life. We have trials and tribulations, and then we have mind games and control. Well, ain't that a bitch? That is what is going on in the world right now, and that is what we are literally uncovering. This past couple weeks, like, the files that have came out, it is literally this energy. It is very dark. It is all about puppets, politics. It is all about control, manipulation, mind games. It is all that. And some people, it is very interesting to see who wants to acknowledge that and who doesn't. But so the energy now is saying that through all that, through this darkness, this dark times, this heavy time, comes, Page of Wands and the Hermit, which is a new going within that is really one of excitement and curiosity. These times, these heavy times, just like COVID, really force humanity to kind of reevaluate and re-look at each other and their lives. These files are doing that as well. This is going to shift the way culture looks at life, just like COVID did. COVID really made us all realize, especially with our working lives, work-life balance, like how effed up that was, how we were living, and how we need to restructure that because our lives do matter. We are not slaves, and we refuse to be a part of that system anymore. And so this is also now going to shake up a lot of people and make people do some deep diving within their own soul searching and asking themselves that, deeper questions. To me, it's feeling like kind of like the healing journey that I went on. It's very psychological. It's asking the questions yourself. Why do I do this? Where is this coming from? There'll be thoughts that pop up in my head and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, I don't like thinking that way. I don't look at things that way. It's like so random sometimes. And I think a lot of people just kind of dismiss those thoughts and whatever and let them go. But like, there's more to it you have to do rather than just like ignoring them. Like, you have to learn to clear that shit and to rebuke that shit. Because there is programming, subconscious programming that is coming in on a daily, hourly, minute basis that you have to continually always clear and check yourself and your energy and create boundaries. It's not just a once a week thing going to church. It is an everyday, daily thing. Four of Swords. And the Hierophant. Yeah, so a lot of people are going to be going to spiritual leaders, people that have done the work, that have been on that journey for a long time. It's not just waking up to what's going on, but now we have got to clear that crud and that clutter, that subconscious programming. We have got to get rid of that because that is the way that darkness in those files thrives. That kind of darkness, bleh, I can't even speak. They don't even want me to say it. Thrives is through that subconscious programming. That's the way they get away with it. And if you're not aware enough of that, you're going to keep replaying, and you're literally a puppet of theirs, of that energy, of that dark force. So people, like me, who have been on this journey and have done a lot of that psychological warfare healing work, we have dived deep into some very dark places. And you do it with courage, and you do it with strength, and you bring out that warrior mentality and energy within yourself, and you face it. You face that bullshit, there was some nasty, deep, dark shit I had to look at. Countless nights of just wailing on the floor of my kitchen, uncontrollably sobbing, crying out, for help, or for even my life to be ended at that time, because I did not know what else to do. I could only face it. And then once you get through it, it is the strength that you receive is incredible, and the power over that darkness is so rewarding, and you then know how to protect others from it, essentially. So and that is the divine feminine. She is, I believe, the gatekeeper of the shadows. Illusions, the moon card. Exactly. That is what I was literally just talking about. Going in the deep, dark shadows and realizing what is there, what is still laying there, dormant, what is in your subconscious mind that is still running these programs on you, making you do things that you don't want to do. For instance, like drinking. Now, I really cannot get drunk. I almost wanted to knock on wood, but I'm almost I literally, my body does not process alcohol the way that it used to anymore. And that, I believe, is because there was certain demons that I had within me that I was battling, that they took control when I would drink alcohol. Now when I drink it, I don't care how much I drink, I can't feel hardly shit. Like, I feel like just relaxed, but nothing to that extreme lose of control before, like I had, where you go, blank, or you let loose, or you just get sloppy and all this. I can't get to that point anymore. It's almost like I get to a point and then it stops. The alcohol just stops having effect on me. And a lot of my healing journey, like I was talking about when I was laying on the floor, just crying in my kitchen at, 2 a.m, was part of that. I would drink myself to where I'd pass out on purpose sometimes, just because I didn't want to face things. And it got to the point where nothing would work to where I could do that, to where I literally had to face the demons. Like, I had to face them. And I had to uncover it. And I had to just let those illusions just be illusions and no longer control me. Because I'm the one in control. Oh my gosh, Page of Cups. This is literally a love reading. So yeah, this is going to really, I believe, like, oh my gosh, my dogs are on this doggy bed in the sun, and they're just sitting next to each other, and it's for one dog each, but they're just covered in grass. They look like they've been rolling around. I gave them a bath earlier, of course. So but anyways, COVID taught us a lot about health. These files, I think, it's going to really start honing in on relationships and our connections with one another, and the way that we treat each other, and the way that we look out for each other, the way that we coexist with each other. Because again, like, we're slowly starting as a collective to see through the bullshit, and how there's been a tactic to put us against each other so we don't go against the big guys, essence of a civil war rather than a revolution. So it may look chaotic and really messy, and there's gonna be still fighting each other, like, but we're kind of getting into that where things are getting, like, rubbed, but it getting rubbed too. But also let go, and then we're working through the I'm just seeing, like, a nail file and how it, like, smooths out essentially, but, like, there is a part where it's, like, rough and tough, and then all of a sudden, like, through that you work out the differences, or you work out the crap, and then it becomes smooth. That's what I feel like I'm starting to see with people. And it's almost kind of like, why are we fighting each other? It's kind of like, it's just so exhausting. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. Fighting people, or trying to, like, convince people. Like, it's just tiring, and it's exhausting, and it's just a waste of energy. And we could be using that energy into creating really cool, badass things together than, tearing each other apart. But we also need to tear things down that aren't working so we can rebuild new. Yeah, we got the Star card. Oh my gosh. Look at these. They're almost like twins. They're almost like they look a little different on camera, the lighting, but they're essentially, like, very similar. Similar cards, almost the same. So, yes, there is definitely messages of love coming in. It's a universal alignment. Of course, we have the day tomorrow, Valentine's Day. It's the day of love. It's the day to really celebrate one another, not even just in partnership, but friends and family, people you love, your dogs, your kids, it's for everybody. So with that, with tomorrow, brings Ace of Swords, breakthrough and awareness. Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful sign. That is a beautiful sign. Woo, woo. They all want to come out. And then we have equality. The Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I definitely think there's it's a slow movement, but it's happening. A realization and an understanding of the suppression of women and, the divine feminine energy. She has been rising for years now. That is why a lot of us, especially in the twin flame community, have woken up and were rightfully so, but forced into this train wreck, fast-paced journey. This journey that has been very fast and just, like you get hit by a train. I used to joke around in that I felt like I was literally kicked into this journey without me wanting to be. Like, it was literally just like, yep, you're on it, here you go. And it was a lot in a short period of time that now, the divine feminine has been and is rising, and you can see it within the collective, and slowly but surely people start seeing a difference. And then, the equality comes in, and because we need both masculine and feminine, we need the god and the goddesses, we need those energies, those archetypes, and we need to balance it in harmony for true co-creation and harmony to live together. And I think, especially through these files and it being so in your face and real, my flame went out, that it is hard to ignore now. And I think it's going to give a greater understanding to people on how that kind of coercion and manipulation and all that works, especially, a lot of those people that like to say, I miss the olden days when grandma stayed and was, loyal to grandpa for 60 years or whatever. And it's like, yeah, she was, but you also don't understand what she went through and what she put up with. So that's why a lot of women leave these days, because they refuse that. They ain't grandma. They're not going to be that submissive. They deserve true love, appreciation, respect, honor, grace. They deserve all that. We do. Women do. And then you don't stay in a relationship that does not give you that. Because there's plenty of other people that are willing to give you that. And want that. And that's what we need as a collective, is those harmonic partnerships that are built on trust and all that, because then that affects the society. It affects your kids. It affects your work life. It affects how you innovate, how you create, how you treat others in the everyday world. Like, your home life or your partnership, it's not just you and your partner. Like, it is a spider web effect. And then last card, Two of Swords. I kind of feel like that is like the energy that I'm talking about, like, especially in these files. Like, finally an understanding and an awakening to that. Protection is not about forcing or coercing the weak into doing what you want out of ego and pride. It's protecting the weak and the young so they may thrive in the world that they live in, too. And be genuinely happy and have a happy society, happy, harmonic functionality society, if that makes sense. Because there's so much more that the divine feminine and can bring to the table that has yet to be seen by many. Some see it already, but it still needs to be seen more. So happy Valentine's Day. Happy Galentine's Day. Happy Friday the 13th. Yeah, divine partnership. That is very good news. It's restoring, these deep connections, these karmic, soulmate, twin flame, whatever, these connections, restoring the old and creating a new spark. Through this awareness, this breakthrough. I'm excited to see what this looks like. This to me has me very curious. And I've said before, like, I know big things are happening in February. I just can't see past it. I don't know what all that means. But it has me so freaking curious because I do feel like something needs to change. There needs to be a new spark, something big coming. And I'm excited to see what transpires of it. I am getting very nervous in my stomach right now. But yeah, so hope this was fun for you. Let me know what you think. Comment below, like, subscribe, share, private message me. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Bye.